Hey folks, hope you're well. So the Rust video that was just released, it's been flagged as breaching YouTube's community guidelines, and then set as adults only. Probably because of all the swearing. And in YouTube's defense, there was a lot of swearing. The link to the main video is below, but if you can't access it, this one should be a bit cleaner. It's the same video, just with censorship bleeps. So yeah, hopefully this will work. Enjoy!
There's a naked down the beach, 80.
Across this river.
There's a crocodile over
don't
there.
think so, no.
On the other side.
Oh, there is a crocodile on this side. What the hell?
I've never seen a crocodile in Rust.
Oh, there's a... It's like a raft.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure if it's dead.
Grabbing
It ran
the
into the
raft.
water.
Yeah.
Duck swimming towards the crocodile.
Crocodile in the water.
Mount. Oh, there we go. Ha!
You need a paddle.
He's up creek without something.
Quite
Just
literally.
drifting out to sea.
Oh, no, into the croc.
It has a hole in it.
The duck, don't look in front of you.
There's a croc.
Oh,
Yeah, the croc is angry now.
doesn't look happy
Didn't
about
like
that duck.
It was at this moment he knew. He f***ed up.
Can someone see where the croc is?
Yeah, we don't know.
Don't like
Good
this.
luck.
That's like 100 million years of evolution, dude. You're screwed. They literally... Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I did shoot it a couple times, but it sounds like not enough.
So it's wounded and right.
Yeah. Oh, he died.
Crocodile.
Oh dear.
Hello there, everyone. So this video is a bit different from my usual affair.
Oh,
Full size.
But this is you and the wildlife.
Yeah,
Wildlife won't leave me alone.
he must taste delicious. Normally, I simply live stream with my friends. We put up a server. We have a few laughs. Jesus! Bomb! 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 And then I cut the highlights together, usually out of context.
Tiger!
Did you like slather yourself in bacon grease?
But you see, recently, we played quite a bit of the game Rust, during which we had a lot of fun. Well, at least most of us did.
No, the tiger got me again.
And you see, there was this event that happened, which I think was really interesting. And it would just kill me to see it hit the cutting room floor. The hell?
Oh, Ducky's meeting the local wildlife again.
More wildlife, duck. What is it this time? An elk? Therefore, let me tell you a story.
Oh, it is an animal, some more.
Get it before it kills duck. Let me tell you about the battle for Honeypot Hill.
No!
Back the character off
You're
Fuck
getting
Me
eaten
Bear.
again. How many times is this? Now, for the non-gamers and for those who just lack the context, the game Rust is an open-world survival game that was part of the bow wave of similar titles that became popular after 2013, especially on PC. And it, like the others, involves players sharing a large open-world environment. This type of game has proved very popular. They are generally fairly easy to make, even for small development teams. On live streams, the content is generally pretty digestible. It's fairly easy to understand just by looking at it.
I want to show you a secret. Go in this room.
There's a new part to it, Green.
What the
And a big draw is that you encounter other players and that those encounters are unscripted, unpredictable, and are often full of adrenaline. For example, I don't know that player, but I can see that they're attempting to destroy the Bradley. It's a sort of battle transport with a bunch of NPCs that defend it. But you see, the nature of what he's doing means that he's had to make a lot of noise, which has attracted me. I heard him from miles away, and the game is set up to have that be the case. I have come over to investigate, and I'm simply observing him from a rooftop. Now, in this encounter, I could shoot him at any moment, or I could go over and help, or I could stay back here and shoot the NPCs. Instead, I am simply biding my time. Why? Well, because my weapon cannot harm the Bradley. I'd love its equipment if it's available, but it takes explosives that I do not have. So instead, I'm just going to sit back and let him do the work. And when the path to those good items is nice and clear, I'm just gonna, well, you know. Haha. I am clever and sexy. But of course, feeling smug, I rush down from my rooftop only to realize too late that I'm not the only guest at this banquet. No. And that third player took the loot. That's survival, baby. Anything can happen, and there is no script. But also, this game's gimmick, with its Mad Max junkie aesthetic, is that rather than store everything on your person, you can easily lock things away in fortified player-built homes. Yes, we're very friendly. And conversely, other players are able to create explosives to attack those homes, to take the things you've meticulously collected.
Got the minigun.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
naughty! Why?
What did you do?
Why? As much fun as Rust is to play, as great as its mechanics can be in the right circumstances, it also feels like a game that's just tortured. This is a very tortured game in a very well-trodden genre. There are 3 problems, which are, as subjective as they are, kind of shitty. 3 things that feel pervasive and almost unavoidable. Number 1. Because the security of your fortified in-game home, and thus keeping what's yours, is directly proportional to the resources you're able to grind in your limited playtime and your numbers, and the offensive power that players can bring to bear against you is directly proportional to the amount of explosives that they can grind in their limited playtime and their numbers, and the base that you build gives you a daily tax related to its size and overall material composition, there is a very strong incentive to essentially min-max your base design. You'd better get used to living like a contortionist, because Rust is, more often than not, a hellscape of small to medium-sized examples of extremely hostile architecture, of roofing turned inside out for the sake of firing platforms, of windowless bunkers where players are sealing themselves within their own walls because doors are openings and openings are vulnerable.
Windows are structural weaknesses. Geth, do not use them.
Of bases where every square inch of floor space has an item of furniture, either clipping or trying to clip into everything else around it, or is a claustrophobic honeycombed nightmare full of armoured doors that beep when they're open, so simply moving around your base sounds like you're a microwave. Hell, if you spend any time, and I mean any time at all, going down the rabbit hole that is Rust base building on YouTube, and you're not already exposed to this ecosystem, it's wild, man. The juxtaposition of what you would probably expect a survival game base to look like versus what Rust players are actually making, min-maxed and copied everywhere. Now, the main reason for this is to counter offline raiding. We'll talk about what that is in a moment. But this, and the combination of the pressures above, causes 3 important metrics to rise above all the others. The resources needed to make the base, its daily resource upkeep, and most crucially, the explosives required to defeat it. The point that I'm trying to make is how this min-maxing, this process, this way of thinking, in a way that's much more acute than other games similarly flattened by the pursuit of instrumental play, feels as though it's eaten away at the game's soul? Where everything is bulldozed flat and assessed only for its value towards these 3 numbers. The devs put in shelves. Oh, shelves, say the players, seemingly. Those will look fantastic in the recycler. Because we just go outside and build a triangle foundation, and then a half wall, and then a ceiling, and then we go inside and essentially just glitch the triangle piece through the wall so that we can squeeze our boxes on top of it, letting us put down the storage boxes alongside our taller cabinets. Oh, the devs gave us armored windows. Fantastic! Don't put those outside. That would be silly.
Windows are structural weaknesses. Geth, do not use them.
Let's wall off our cramped loot rooms so players literally have to use a hammer to lift off the armored window whenever they want to reach in for something. Oh, look at this! It's a vending machine. That's the patch that lets you make shop fronts. But you see, if you rotate it around so you can see the back of it, there's just enough space in the hitbox to let you click on boxes behind it before you flip it back around again. And there you go. You've got a free armored door. Let's grow some vegetables, say the devs. Oh look! Firing platforms, say the players. What the f*** are these things? Why use stairs when we can have drop downs? Basically chutes with little platforms, meaning that an intruder has to physically drop down to the next level, exposing themselves to turrets. Oh no, stairs! I know what they're for. Those are the things that you make out of twig, the weakest possible material. So when an intruder arrives, the shotgun trap blasts them away, shooting them out from underneath their feet, leaving them trapped. This is the biggest problem in Rust, that its community pretty regularly suck the content of all considerations that aren't related to PvP.
When it rains, you can barely hear anything, but you can easily fix that. Just go to settings, then to audio, and go over the speaker config, change it to mono, and then change it back to whatever it was. This will disable all ambient sounds in the game, including the rain sound, which will give you a huge advantage over other players.
And if you don't embrace that like everyone else is doing, well, it's not so much land of the blind, it's more the land of the one-eyed man, and you become the blind. Your base stands out as an obvious target by virtue of not looking like this hot garbage. And it's my opinion that the game, when everyone is playing like this,
guard them with shotgun traps. We're using roof ramps because bodies will slide down into the core where you can retrieve the loot safely.
it kind of f***ing sucks. Rust is like a butterfly. It went through this metamorphosis from this to this, from this to this, from this to this. It's simply been impaled by a meta of 1,000 hexagonal sheet metal needles with names like the Frustrator, the Raptor, the Nemesis, the Abuser, the Jupiter, the Yutani, the Helix, and all of this is made worse by problem number 2. Because your stuff and even your character remains in the world even when you log off, there is a very strong incentive for players to attack a home when the defending player just isn't playing. They could be at work, or they could be asleep, or they could be doing anything else, leaving their character and their stuff sitting helpless inside their walls, which greatly compounds the previous issue. And I know that my Twitch audience groan at me every time I bring it up, comparing so many survival games to my experiences in the DayZ mod, but the contrast for those who have experienced both is really quite jarring. When you stopped playing DayZ Epoch back in the day, your character would just vanish. In the Arma 2's engine, it could be no other way, and it usually meant that the best gear would go with you. Therefore, for a raider, for a bandit, taking down a player became an expressly desirable goal. To attack a base or to find a tent was mainly to find the surplus gear. Rust, though, dramatically changes that formula. To be offline raided in Rust is to lose everything, and it goes a long way to explain the insane fever-pitched scramble for every single advantage before one goes offline for the evening. Every single evening. The DayZ community before Rust never had this in them because they never needed to. Admittedly, that point does feel a little ridiculous. Rust has long since outshone anything DayZ Epoch ever tried to do. My point is, I don't think that the offline raiding has really introduced anything positive to the game formula that isn't hugely outweighed by escalating negatives, and is absolutely not helped by problem number 3. It is perhaps a bit of an understatement to say that Rust has a bit of a toxicity problem. Granted, the loudest voices in the room are perhaps not representative of the whole, but our clan have played a ton of survival games, but somehow it's Rust. It's always Rust, where there's some sort of drama. The root of this, or at least a root of this, in addition to the two things above, is that the game has an extremely high skill ceiling for what is essentially competitive play, and no real mechanism to keep people in different skill bands apart. Now, the lack of a heavy-handed developer controlling their audience has historically been a highlight of open-world survival, but if ever there were a survival game that would benefit from a way of sorting their players, it would definitely be Rust.
Dung dung! Dung 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 dung!
You also want active admins with an identifiably human hand on the server's steering wheel, weeding out the obvious griefers, kicking out the suspected cheaters, and banning anybody being just a little bit too much of a because if you don't have that, if it is just a race to play competitively, then watch as the newer players get eaten alive by some players who have such an insanely high playtime, they are basically playing a completely different game.
The Twig Foundation is still sticking out. At these corners, it can be damaged from the outside. To counter that, place foundations here. Even though still sticking out, no longer take splash damage.
So if you ever want these peaks to be a little bit wider, you can upgrade the stone roofs to a DLC skin, and this will remove the bottom pieces of the roof and allow you to peek more easily.
Don't worry about the exposed soft side of this wall. As soon as the roof touches that wall, it no longer registers as soft side.
Place your turret and hook it up, and then upgrade the other side to hide it.
From the stairs, you need to jump on the locker. And from here, jump onto the lamp in the middle. From here, you can see what's happening on the second floor and below you. By the way, you can easily shoot and deal damage through the texture from this position.
If you have one of the DLC building skins, you can upgrade the roof, and as the texture changes, spam E and the door upstairs will open.
Cover the gaps with open doors. Use siren lights to prevent other gamers from squeezing through the crack.
Hold on. Pausing the script for a moment, I want you to appreciate what just happened. This is a tutorial and he's building a fairly common type of floor, a shooting floor that you can shoot from, and he has little gaps in the shooting floor where people might get in. Face Punch, the company that made Rust, they added a light, a siren light, a spinning light, a light that lights up and spins. It is part of their electrical update, with batteries and wires and switches and and the Rust players, or at least this one, and this one, and this one, don't know how widespread this is, but regardless, within the framework of min-maxing for PvP, took this light, and they did not see a light, they saw this. What do you do? Like, as a company, what do you do? How do you get out from underneath this when everything you do, regardless of how many hours it took to implement, how many tasks are on the Jira ticket or whatever, when it gets into the hands of your customers, they just see it as a hitbox for PvP?
The vending machine has even more HP than a metal wall, so you'll definitely be protected inside your base.
I get it, people are competitive, but f***ing hell. Anyway, my point is, you probably want a player base that will resist the min-maxing, not lean into it. You want to be able to defend the base that you build, not just log in later to find that it's a ruin, and you probably want to be playing amongst your peers, not with people who have 10,000 hours of experience more than you do. And on that note, the stage for the story. Dinklebean's Rust server.
Listen to my sweet, posh, upper-class accent, and you can trust me when I say that I have this position merely because my father was rich and I possess no real military qualities.
Well, he invited me and my clanmates to a game of Rust.
Coming in.
Does the horse fit in?
And there was an attempt to counteract the above-mentioned negatives. Admins would act as bouncers and not let anybody in whose Steam profile history couldn't be verified, along with removing anybody whose conduct was deemed a little bit too sweaty. A simple mod was added that made all of the Rust bases completely indestructible if the owner was not online, which meant you didn't need to do the honeycomb thing as much. If your base is going to get raided, you're probably going to be there to fight it, or at least within the range of your in-game pager. And 4, less important to this story but still relevant, a maximum group size of 5 and later 8, so one gigantic mega team can't simply dominate everyone at the very start. The spirit of this rule also ensured that there would be lots of people scattered all over the place, forming lots of smaller tribes. So nothing revolutionary. This isn't some novel concept. You've heard me praise community servers before, and so with that stage set, the curtain rises and we all log in to Rust. Not the right button. There we go. A jungle biome. I wasn't even aware that there was a jungle biome.
Where did you guys spawn? Where's the map? Do we have a map?
It's G for Gamap.
Gamap. Okay.
Gamap.
So the first thing that we did after logging in was to try and scout a neat little location for our clan base. Fairly quickly, on the first night, we identified a prominent hill right above one of the 2 entrances to the underground rail network.
Yes, we can be the bandits of the railway.
Yeah, what do you think?
Perfect.
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm game.
We sort of figured it would let us intercept trains going all over the server with high probability, as this is one of only 2 locations that you can take trains underground. The Rust trains are actually very cool. No Thomas the Jank engine, as is in Armour.
Sir, the train is floating.
Can you drive a train?
No, but I can pilot one. They are really easy to use, require only a very common fuel, and are, most importantly, highly visible, increasing the chances that other players will see and intercept you. And the more cargo wagons you're hauling, the more vulnerable you are. And so you can get involved in literal train heists, where people will chase you and try to hop on. The trains are one of the best parts of Rust, in my opinion, although they are, at times, hilariously dangerous.
They go fast.
Detaching now.
No, that.
You said you're aboard! Oh no!
You just killed Todd. You just killed Todd. We gotta go back.
With our base established, we began the process of gathering resources, and I resumed my time-honoured tradition of inviting my viewers to come and join me in games. Dinklebean's Rust server is, as far as I know, open. Yeah, feel free to get Rust installed and feel free to come and play before promptly mugging them. Oh look, there's a person. Let's go rob him. Hello! Don't draw your weapon. This is a stick-up. Hi there, Majau. How are you doing this morning? This is a mugging. Put your hands up. Don't draw a gun. Oh, hi there, Nuna. How you doing? Don't think of it as mugging. Think of it as a celebrity meet and greet with in-game currency microtransactions. Have you played much of Rust before?
No, first time.
Oh, holy first time. Really? For real?
Yeah, I saw you play it looked kind of fun, and I was like, might as well hop on and give it a try.
Yeah, nice. Do you have any scrap metal, by the way?
Is this the bit where you put me in handcuffs?
Yes, it's the bit where I put you in handcuffs. As is typical, we started upgrading our base and our items with scavenged, sometimes stolen, equipment. A brief experiment with the bee grenade gave our base its namesake. Oh god, it is a jar full of bees.
It's a jar full
It's
of
just a
bees.
jar full of bees.
Yeah, hold the ball.
I think he does. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave.
Oh no! Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry. Look, sorry. The bees. I thought it was just aim. I didn't know I was going to throw it. This is the bees' base now.
Belongs to the bees.
I have an idea.
Yeah, all right. Well, you guys.
Shoot the
Bye.
bees.
Yeah.
Other groups started to trickle into the server, making their own bases all over the place, mostly concentrated in the green areas away from the deserts and the Arctic. Birdie and Maya both joined to make a horse stable down south. Freeze! Put your hands up! Hold down B!
No.
I'll shoot you, Birdie!
Ow!
Oh. Right. It's Sinai's super hot girlfriend, and oh look, loads of scrap. Oh, loads of high quality metal. Thank you, ladies.
You shot me!
Yes, because you didn't put your hands up. You didn't put your hands up, and then Maya attacked me.
Don't put the hands up to the likes of you. You're acting like a British man right now.
yes, I am. Fuck. And up on Honeypot Hill, we discovered that we had neighbours. My long-term viewers, Bacon Bender and Nervous Hawk, also figured this hill would make a great location for a base, and we ended up in rifle range with each other. Oh,
Hey, the balloon's coming.
The base right here. Yeah, he's shooting us, look. Oh, it's a ballista! Oh my god! Oh my god!
He's shooting a ballista at
He's
us.
shooting a ballista! We did, however, have the advantage in numbers. They had 2, we normally had 4 to 5. Nevertheless, since our resource gathering actions usually overlapped, we would clash very frequently. Standby snipers watching us. Go. Two snipers, go. I'm cutting it. Push.
Fuel's in.
Go. Who's gonna risk it for a biscuit?
No one's driving.
Ow!
Oh, he's down. But he got it off. You got it off, Ducky.
2 guys, though, whilst a nuisance, were not that much of a threat. It was really just a question of how soon we could get the necessary explosives. It wasn't long, though, before a real threat emerged. Slow it down a bit. Take 5. Minigun, Jesus Christ! That was cool, holy sh**.
What do you mean it was cool?
That was so cool. Where are we? What? That, everyone, is my little brother.
Hello. That was amazing.
That's a way to say hey.
I don't even know who that was.
I am the eldest of 5 siblings. 2 brothers, 2 half-brothers, and 1 half-sister. And this one here is number 3. He too live streams, and he too joined the server with a small crew of his regulars. And look, I don't know if you, dear viewer, have siblings, but this is not acceptable. The oldest son gets everything. The respect, the inheritance, maybe even a crown. And the little brothers get to eat That's how it works. And then, of course, the big brother does a shocked Pikachu face when the little ones plot his assassination. Tale as old as time. But how dare he show his face here? How dare he come to this server? How dare his inventory have resources which are rightfully mine? Hi, brother.
Really?
Yep.
Did you really just follow me, even though I just gave you 200 scrap?
Yep. Bye, brother.
Really?
Yep. Just like old times, eh, brother? And that's what our childhood was like. So our mum actually yelled at me for that. I told her about this moment on the live stream and she was like, "You mugged your own brother? I didn't raise you to do that. That's terrible. You apologize right now. He trusted you." Anyway, I've put a sign. I don't know if you've seen it. It's up in the lounge.
Yeah. Right.
Really?
What, you want a hit of this?
No. I came up to the lounge to get some food or whatever.
I'm lounging, baby.
Yeah.
So what you're wearing is very fashionable, I gotta admit.
What am I wearing? Oh, f***'s sake. Don't with my clothing when I'm sleeping. Now, within these sorts of genres, within these sorts of mods, it is very easy to draw patterns, to see mechanics that have clearly inspired other mechanics. But with what I'm about to describe, I don't think that is the case. It isn't the product of some intentional game design, for there is something of a paradigm in a lot of survival games, created by, I think, a genre that often showcases very large maps to explore, where players exist in competition, where the movement from A to B is generally very slow, encouraging the inclusion of some sort of transportation to let the player see the whole map, and the desire to not have that transportation seem incongruous with the rest of the game's aesthetic. And since a lot of these games take place in the post-apocalypse, well, you're going to see a lot of combustion engines as opposed to, say, Star Trek transporters. And all of this results in the aforementioned paradigm. The faster you move, the more obvious you usually are. And by extension, the more of you that are moving, the more obvious you are. Haunt the periphery solo or move at a running pace, and you are generally hard to detect. But move quickly across the map and in numbers, and you are far more obvious. The same goes with the gathering of resources. The more efficient the harvesting method, the easier you are to find. Hell, some of the methods for getting resources in Rust, well, they're so obvious, there are literal server-wide notifications. There are even security cameras that everyone can access, so they can see what you're doing and where you're doing it. So all of this means, as you can expect, my team of ZF at Honeypot Hill would start to compete with and interact with Lamram's team coming forth from their base at Twat Tower. That's what they called their base, apparently, wherever it was. It started small, a little blood here, a little blood there.
Hello, Ducky!
This is harassment, this is.
A little drone here, a little spy there. Hello, what the f***? Who are you? One of my brother's little rats, Have an overlook over your base and take screenshot. Do you know what happened to spies in World War II? So I found out later that my brother's team were mapping out our base in this program called Fortify to approximate attack avenues. We all got our chance to properly nerd out in this session. It was fun.
I was up until like 6 in the morning.
Why were you up until 6 in the morning?
Because I accidentally took a double dose of my ADHD medication and got really obsessed with fixing my electricity system.
Oh, what the f***? What has he done? Hell. One day, on Honeypot Hill, as we were squabbling with Bacon Bender and Nervous Hawk, as is normal.
Okay, there's 5 guys down here, by the way.
Guys? Where?
Lamram's here.
You're kidding? My brother's there?
Yeah, he's down by Tom's store.
What's he doing?
Oh.
Seriously, what's he doing?
He's just wandering around, and he has a gun and a good armor.
Okay, we're gonna be attacked. He's coming for us. Everyone get to the defenses. He's coming for us.
And then they're heading up to the tower now. All of them.
Yep.
Like 5 guys.
Lock down everything. That's it.
I can't seem to.
Yeah, they're armed. They got snipers. Here we go. It's on.
Move it up, we'll cover you. Move it up, we're covering you, covering fire, lambs.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Oh, f***ing hell.
The catapult is moving towards us, gentlemen. Being pulled by a horse. Here we go. Oh my god, they got a minigun.
Oh, minigun.
He's got a minigun.
In any life.
Oh my god.
God, I wish I was a better shot.
Whoa, they're here.
How cool, they just flung something at us.
I'm down.
I require medication because you shot me in the
Oh god.
Oh god. Front door open.
Oh.
He went into the double door.
If I die, I die.
Oh, he's hitting the wall? He's hitting the wall. Okay, he's ready.
Holy something's attacking us on the side.
Yeah, I see it. How cool. I think we do need the grenades. I'm flinging grenades at that thing.
Far left.
Oh, I got shots from somewhere. Damn it. Go off, brother.
I'm gonna minigun you in the face!
Oh god. Go off, brother, you're adopted!
Ooh, I'm down.
A fun battle. A little inconclusive, but it was impromptu, and they didn't have the proper base-breaking ammunition for the siege weapons anyway. The bed, look at that. So afterwards, they simply faded away and disappeared somewhere to the northwest. Ow.
Where are they?
Yeah, that was fun. That was good. I enjoyed that. Now what followed were some streams where I tried to locate said tower, starting at that place where we were minigunned on the train and working south from there. And shout out to this moment on stream where I stumbled upon the admin's RP nightclub, chat, I think we're in business, and went all Sherlock, analysing this particularly strange looking raid base, thinking it might be Twat Tower. A turret on the upper level, at least 2. Why turrets up top? Why not turrets down low? Yeah, those things are actually decorative strobe lights. What's that? Almost looks like a snow blower. So we would need to wear warm weather clothing in the event that they initiate those defenses. Yeah, those things are fog machines. They've got some sort of bridge that goes across there. Could be mined. That's just the bridge for decoration. I wonder if those spotlights come on automatically, making a night attack not as straightforward. There's a pool. Not my finest hour. Anyway. The f is that? Oi, brother, when's the next bullshit? Motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, we need to do something about Lamram. There was, of course, desire on both sides for a second battle for Honeypot Hill. The first was so much fun, and that was impromptu. You got darts in your bum.
Take him out.
I'm not touching your bum. I'm not touching your bum! Well, due to that server plugin that makes bases invincible when the owners are not online, you'd need to wait for peak time. Peruse the list of online players to make sure that your target is actually playing. Alternatively, there's a little handy pop-up so you know whether they're online or not. And since Rust, unlike some other survival games I can mention, encourages intra-team communication,
This is a stealth mission!
after some back and forth, it was decided that the upcoming Bank Holiday Monday would be the perfect time for a big confrontation. Both sides would have the highest number of players online. Both sides would have time to prepare. Both sides could have fun. Gentlemen, do not wander around this area. I suggest you stay with me for reasons of small metal explosives on the ground. Exactly where you're standing. Like that, Dinklebee. What did I just say? What did I just say?
He's not lying.
Come over here. No!
Oh,
sake!
This has gone the only way it could have.
Of course, we were somewhat vexed with the issue that aside from some idiot shooting up a nightclub,
Sir, drop the glow stick!
we actually had no idea where Twat Tower even was.
How have we not found these guys yet?
I don't know. Until a rather enterprising player started doing something rather cool. Selling information.
So I had some spy go looking around for us.
A spy?
Some dude, he only makes drones and he parks them at other people's bases and act as cameras.
Yeah, I got one of his drones.
And then he's like, yeah. You need any spy work? You know, sure. I need
Now
someone's
that
base.
Yes.
Is cool.
And then an hour later, I get a screenshot. I mean, another screenshot. This picture here. Look.
Oh my god, how cool is this? Oh my god, he found it! He found my brother's base!
Yeah,
How much is he offering to pay for the information?
I already paid him.
Come on, where's my brother's base?
R17, I believe.
That's right next to us!
Yeah, I know.
I'm going hunting. So I trekked out. I went to the location that the drone reported, and bingo! It's gotta be it. Hang on. At which point, the equation of this playthrough somewhat changed. Remember what I said at the start, where Rust encourages an uncomfortable level of min-maxing? Well, that is one of those bases, as you can probably tell from a brief glance. That is a base design with countering offline raiding in mind. It is a honeycombed nightmare of doors and weird jumps and alcoves, where you have to crouch jump just to get anywhere.
I can't do that jump!
And where all the storage is in the most aggravating places. It's designed to waste time and resources. In fact, with what I said about everyone just following a duplicated meta, you know, spoiling the game's soul, well, this base has been built from a YouTube tutorial. It's literally the one called The Frustrator.
This base is a nightmare for offline raiders, and in the rare event that you do get online, rest assured that you're covered from every angle.
Oh dear.
You get a full wraparound open core, 3 unsplashable drop-down loot rooms, and a full peek down and roof floor. We have plenty of space for traps, as well as 2 beds and an inner ankle biter peak to clear your core. These small gap peaks are very difficult to fight against, especially if you're on the ground, which gives you a crazy upper hand.
This information cycled back to the guys at Honeypot Hill. We're probably dealing with a team of sweats.
Let's be real. Look at that base. You're not raiding that. Let's be honest. I'm not getting the C4 for that. It's just too much. Can't be.
In fact, I didn't know back then, but I do know now, that Lamram actually had to tell some of his guys to chill the fuck out. Apparently, some of his team members were playing Rust as though they were on some public non-whitelisted server, building up an absolute arsenal of explosives to crush us. My brother noticed that we weren't building our base like that we had no crazy honeycombing, that they needed to cool their heels, else this wouldn't really be a fight. We're ZF, we're perpetually one sandwich short of a picnic.
Oh, it's coming back, it's coming back!
No,
Get him!
yeah, it is coming back.
Oh my god, the train!
Get ready to board, get ready to board, get ready to board!
Yeah, jump on top, jump on top. Oh no, you're gonna get hit in the head. Oh,
okay.
You all got clothesline.
That makes a lot of sense in hindsight.
We literally had a moment 2 days ago where this happened to Mag and none of you learned.
You all just jumped and I heard like a squish sound.
Absolute idiots. And it also turned out that Nervous Hawk and Bacon Bender were here too. Having been displaced from Honeypot Hill, they had settled in nearby. And apparently they were mostly cooperating with my brother, along with Craft Angel, who was swinging back and forth and making tea. There were about 10 players not fighting each other. Twat Tower was ringed with scores of structures and other bases and people moving in and out of them. There was a bit of drama. You know, the whole spirit of that rule to stop gigantic teams? And here was one under a different name? But it's fine. The admins relaxed the rule later. But again, the optics. We had a team of about 4 to 5 people. We were dealing with, as far as we could tell, at least 10. Probably more when the battle kicked off. I mean, somebody's been mugging everybody and making enemies. No names, let's not point any fingers.
Kinda unfair. I have a crossbow and you have an AK.
I know, it's great, isn't it? But as far as we could tell, we might be dealing with mega sweats. Whereas on our side, we had, well... Play us a song of battle on the guitar. We're going in. To battle! To battle!
Feel intimidated. I am smacking your wall for no discernible reason.
To battle! Battle! Wait, this isn't the base.
It's you!
Surrender! Surrender your weapons!
What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, I'm not.
No, there's no trap. No, it's a
He's got inside his safe room. Has he escaped? Hello?
Right, back to the hot air balloon.
Back to the hot air balloon.
Back to the hot air balloon.
Back to the hot air balloon. We sure showed him.
He's terrified.
Yeah.
Okay, in private, that could have gone better.
Could have gone better. We should have shot him, and then it got us stuff.
It seems obvious now, in hindsight.
Yes.
Even waving us off. I think we made a friend. I don't think we did war. I don't.
Sweats or not, the numbers weren't looking good. Remember that bit when I said that bases generally have 3 important metrics in the meta? Well, since they built from a tutorial, we knew exactly what it would take to defeat.
And for its 50 rocket raid protection, this base comes at a cheap price even for a solo.
Our base? Built knowing that it could not be offline raided, built with a swimming pool and open kitchens, expansive lobbies and a piano. Well, briefly running the numbers, it would take 12 rockets to get to our loot room, and then another 5 for our cupboard, its main core. Oh. We were gonna get And then, of course, literally yesterday when I was editing this, my brother and I met at a barbecue where we were talking about this battle, and he showed me this picture on his phone. This is an overview of the armaments that they actually acquired before the battle. 209 rockets. 12 would defeat us. They made 209.
Just shut up. Get yourselves ready.
Right. So, if we didn't have the numbers, and we didn't have the strength, and we hadn't designed our base to resist a dedicated raid, what did we have? We could use guile. What if Honeypot became an actual Honeypot?
We're gonna have raid day, right?
Okay.
Let's say it's Monday.
Okay.
So Monday, they come with all of them to our base.
Yep.
We are defending.
Yep.
But there is nothing in the base. It's empty as we already moved everything, right?
Okay.
But here's the best part. While they're at our base, we're gonna MLRS them at the same time.
Oh, I'm with you. So we let the base fall, and then we MLRS the base?
Yes, while we taunt them.
Here was the plan. Actually, deviating from the script for a moment, I just wanted to point out that, I'm doing the whole forest thing, post-it notes on a wall. Didn't bring the string this time. But I just wanted to point out something. You see, that is not the same wall. The reason for that is I don't have access to that wall anymore, simply because I moved. I moved out of that dingy little flat where I was living for more than a decade, and I moved into a house. So it's not just that this is a different wall. This is my wall. I own this wall. And you see, thing is, I never did sponsorships. I've never done advertising. Personal taste, I just hate them. So instead I put up the Patreon thing and the Twitch subscribers, trying to connect to my audience as best as I can. So basically, you guys bought me this wall and the house it's attached to. I don't think I have the words. I don't think the words even exist to express how extremely grateful I am. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a recreation of the Rust map, as it existed circa at some point in the past. Here, you can clearly see Honeypot Hill, as indicated by the label and the bee iconography. This is where we would spring our dastardly trap. My little brother, at the agreed upon time and spurned on by intense feelings of sibling inadequacy, would initiate his attack at precisely 8 PM UK time on the 25th of August 2025. We know this because ZF is collectively getting quite elderly, so if it comes any later in the evening, we're going to have a bit of a nappy nap. Whilst that attack is underway, we do our level best to make it seem like defending our base is our primary objective, whilst also using the anti-aircraft guns to make the whole compound impervious to rocket attack from the air. Our goal will be to ensure that Lamram's group has to attack us on foot, that they cannot simply bombard us with rocket artillery. Why yes, HMRC, this is tax deductible. And of course to make sure that they have their fun as well. So whichever way this goes, no one gets salty. But prepared for in advance. And also, given the bee-based nomenclature, we will create Mandible and Sting. Mandible would exist a single grid square away from my brother's main base, and the bases of his depraved allies, and would take the form of a raid base within which we would stockpile resources and launch a devious counter-offensive. But since we know that my brother likes to use drones in order to reconnoitre the area around his base, Mandible would need a disguise. Introducing Laserpig's Rock Emporium, created by double agent and ZF Digi's friend and possibly sugar daddy Laserpig, who was also just playing on the server.
What is that noise? Oh god, the English are attempting to colonize us again! Brothers to arms! On my mark, open fire!
This obvious RP base, made mostly out of flimsy wood and featuring a pool and other delicates, would secretly host a veritable arsenal of explosives, of rockets, and sometimes even explosive rockets. Right under my brother's nose, like a Dick Tracy island full of assholes. And then, when the signal is given, with my brother on the edge of victory and deep within Honeypot Hill's defences, we were to intentionally die, respawn at Mandible, gird our loins for battle, and slowly penetrate the deepest parts of my brother's sensitive region. Hell, ChatGPT, as an optional addendum, a helicopter, mostly for the sake of Sting, more on that in a minute, would be flown in loops around Twat Tower to deplete its air defense ammunition. But I was, however, assured that it wouldn't be necessary, as our efforts to reconnoitre
what the
his base revealed that they only have one missile defense platform, and it could be easily dispatched with something as simple as flaming arrows.
Who's your cutest little flaming projectile? Yes, you are.
But you see, this is the part where I would initiate something devious. Psy-ops. You know, at some point future me is going to wonder, how exactly did I lose all of those patrons? Consider that Lamram and I possess a connection, a familial ancestry, Christmas dinner invitations, and most important of all, mobile phones. Oh, I was given the task, IRL, of convincing my brother that we were in fact incompetent. Yeah, not a hard sell. In real life, in text messages to my brother, I would claim that my group had no idea what we were doing. Sorry. And that crucially, one of our number, notably Naughty Ostrich, had taken all of the long-range rockets, more on that with Sting, and had fired them at some random and unimportant target because he was curious.
What the
depriving us of the option, and for which on stream we would pretend to give him a hard time.
Remind him what happened to the MLRS.
No, don't.
No. We said we weren't going to talk about this on stream.
No. Oh, what does this do?
Oops, misclick my
So I rather like that on reviewing this footage, all we have to do is pretend that we don't have the missiles. We know we're on the live stream. We know this is fake. We just pretend that Naughty expended all of the missiles. The details don't matter because it's all made up. But Tom can't help but twist the knife and imply that Naughty's hypothetical accuracy was hypothetically
Not only does he use them, but he misses.
It's 2 circles you have to pay attention to. 2 circles.
Like Naughty's in our chat going, "Oh, I will be the scapegoat. Pile your sins onto me." And we're all like, "The goat's getting away. Kick the shit out of it."
Don't worry. I'm sure that empty field really knows who's boss now.
Shut the
The intention here was to lull my brother into a false sense of security concerning the suitability of its anti-air rocket defenses and to hide what a small elite team would actually be doing at codename Sting. For on the Rust map, there is an abandoned military base, and due to the name, some fans speculate that it is some sort of abandoned military base, and within that location there is a medium to long-range missile launcher, which is capable of launching missiles both mediumly and longly. And if you carefully collect the very rare rocket ammunition for this weapon, and the targeting module to use it, on a 20-minute cooldown you can launch a powerful rocket barrage against any standing target on the map, hopefully making it not. It is fairly easy to counter with even a modicum of air defenses set to the task, hence all this PSYOP bullshit, hence all the secrecy. This plan is basically a pincer attack on his base from both the ground and the air, whilst my brother is entirely distracted in the final stages of the assault on our base. Sting, in a more literal sense, would be some tiny shack location, close enough to the military base, but intentionally disguised as some tiny 1x2. A new player base, basically. Too small to bother with raiding. And to minimize any damage, both Mandible and Sting would exist, but would only be stockpiled with their equipment at the very last evening before the battle, with everything being stored safely in the fortified loot room of Honeypot Hill in the meantime. That, everybody, was the plan. Honeypot Hill is the story of strength versus cunning. Our base would fall, but crucially, so would theirs. So, the plan begins. Quietly, over the next few days, we begin to gather the necessities. Hi, just Ammo, what are you doing here?
Exploring, getting some salvage, the usual.
Alright, cool. Listen, I love your backpack, by the way. I'd love your backpack, by the way.
What? That's crazy, right?
You know, I'm gonna say it one more time.
Well, we don't have time for that. Swabble, we gotta go.
You're right. I'm sorry. Tom, like a champion, works hard to farm the specific areas where these rare missiles spawn. But crucially, he does it away from the live streams. We come up with a code name, something defensive sounding. Operation Landmine, to indicate that what they're doing is related to missile acquisition, therefore the person streaming, probably me, should get lost.
I'm gonna do Project Landmine, so maybe I shouldn't be in the team.
Yeah, no, he's right, yeah. I was also subsequently banned from the TC room, which is where we were storing those rockets. Lest I accidentally show the stream, and then the chat, bunch of grasses that you are,
I know you motherfuckers,
would tell Lamram. Also, a shout out to this moment on one live stream where, in an effort to get more information about my brother's activities, I send up a drone, only to get distracted when I notice that one of my regular viewers, Emily, has left her base roof entirely unlocked and exposed. And as a result of some masterful drone flying from yours truly, I was able to fly in and find Emily's sleeping character. And whilst the rules of offline base raiding are quite clear, they are a little fuzzy on the subject of teabagging. However, it was at this point that the drone, always a little touchy, decided to get stuck in her player model, and no matter how hard I tried to wiggle it free, I only succeeded in having it gyrate around, humping her repeatedly. And due to the fact that I was hunting my brother, the drone ID that spent a full 5 minutes on the live stream actively humping the nude, unconscious female viewer without her knowledge or consent had the publicly visible ID tag Hunter. I'm gonna get me too, I don't believe this. Across the server, news of the upcoming battle started to spread. That the two brothers, Soviet and Lamram, would clash at precisely 8 o'clock UK time on the bank holiday Monday of the 25th of August. The news spread through the global messages, within the Twitch chat, amongst the Discord users. Phone calls were sent, fireworks were sent up, pagers were paging, and messengers spread the word.
Penis.
It was during this week that Mr. Batty, a friend of Cyanide and me, remember him?
In the most SovietWomble voice you've got. Hello!
Used about 2,250 scrap metal in the game to purchase an attack helicopter, and then he equipped it with enough rockets to make it everyone else's problem. He made numerous strafing runs against our base for the funsies, which prompted us to heavily stock man-portable anti-air missile systems. But curiously, I noticed that he would often make repeated passes against the Horse Girls, who were living in that stable that they made to the southeast, a 5-player team that included Maya,
Kill you!
Novi,
My plan is to like marry rich.
Birdie,
Go on.
No!
and Discari.
Give me some alcohol. I'm hyperventilating.
And with that, I saw opportunity. I roped together 2 of my teammates and we went for a bit of a trek. We went to go and visit the Horse Girls to give a peace offering. I decided to go all CIA and Mujahideen here, gifting the Horse Girls anti-aircraft launchers to deal with Mr. Batty if they agreed to come to our aid when the battle commenced on Bank Holiday Monday. Also a shout out to ZF Dan in the background over here. Because ZF didn't form one central mega group like in the old DayZ days, Dan was mostly hanging out with 4 highly assertive, highly domineering ladies. You can see him in the background in so much of the footage, just saying very little. I would say pour one out for our fallen brother, but frankly I think he was in his happy place.
Don't carry this. What's that?
Someone throw a grenade?
Yeah, I'm just making room in my inventory.
Really? So you pulled the pin? You could have just threw it to the side. So things were continuing. Materials were being collected. Oh.
Just Swagson.
Hang on a minute. I got a chicken crossing the road.
Oh no, Oscar,
Why?
why?
Well, yeah,
Why?
why?
Tell me why. Oh, you then.
I'll take a jerry can now. Fill it up from the river.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I don't believe it! I don't
You
believe
fool.
it! But it's during this time that we had a bit of tension and drama that resulted in something of a low point. In addition to some people just not being online as much due to work commitments and therefore not able to contribute to the base upkeep and war preparations. There's Dinkelbean. Again, Dinkelbean hasn't been around for the entire weekend. We had a very specific problem. Poor communication. As a team, hell, as a clan, we generally struggle to communicate. As an example, Tom, again, like a champion, worked to stock 3 boxes full of weapons and ammunition, all for Mandible and all away from the prying eyes of the live stream. And in his defense, he did quite clearly point this out in the group chat, that there were boxes in Leech's room, complete with screenshots. But this information didn't appear to be absorbed. For my part at least, I wasn't even sure who Leech was. You don't know who Leech is. He's not even appeared in this video. That's because he turned up for like a day or 2, put his character in his bedroom and then just went to sleep and never returned. And top left room, Tom says before his message scrolls off the top of the chat. From which direction? In which base? A lot of the bedrooms that we had at Honeypot Hill don't even have the same codes. So collectively, as a group, we didn't even register that the boxes were there. I'm using this one as an example of how our communications were so bad that we nearly left all this stuff behind, until one of us had the good idea to use explosives to blow down our own door. So overall, communication was terrible.
Ow!
Additionally, at the start of the planning phase, we were exchanging annotated maps on Steam, but a crucial piece of information was missing. Where was Sting going to be? Who was making it? Mandible's position was clear. It was Laserpig's RP base. It was already built and we didn't build it. But what about Sting? As a result, the day before the battle, off stream and hiding my name, I climbed a hill above the military site and constructed a tiny armored base that would function as Sting, making sure that it had clear sniper angles on anybody camping the MLRS, and secure lockboxes to hide the missiles, only to be told that Sting was already created. That shared plan on Steam was not a hypothetical, that's the actual location, made by Tom on the west side of the military base. So I had just made Sting number 2, which we didn't need, wasting valuable time and resources that could have been spent elsewhere. Furthermore, the day before that, Digi drove this tanker into our base's courtyard, which he'd filled with irradiated water. Hard to find. he was going to use it as part of our defense, spraying the enemy and whatnot. But you see, Digi wasn't part of our group. He wasn't there for the initial planning phase, and he wasn't part of our group because we already had 8, at least on paper, and it was still a bit iffy whether or not we were allowed to work with allies as Lamram's group were. Again, the admins came in later, they relaxed the rule, it was fine. But at the time, at least, I was nervous about pushing our luck in front of Dinklebean's admins, who have no affiliation with ZF. I was, at the time, worried that the admins were watching us for rule breaking, in part because one of our clanmates was banned from the server a few days prior for aggressively using slurs. It wasn't good, he was punished, he was banned from the server, and I was worried that the same thing was going to happen to the rest of us if we rode the line. So Digi couldn't properly communicate his intentions. He was not authorized on any of our defenses. As such, he ran around the courtyard for a bit before tripping one of our shotgun traps and... That tanker despawned, by the way. Nobody knew that we were meant to store it. Nobody knew what we were meant to do with it. Things were not good. So with all of this in mind, it's the morning of the battle. Preparations are nearly complete. Mandible is set up. Sting is set up, awaiting the missiles. Hackles are more raised than they should be, when suddenly... Hang on. Someone just found a whole bunch of missiles in a base he broke into next to the abandoned military site. Oh no. Messages shot back and forth in the early hours of the morning. Those weren't our missiles, were they? The assumption was that our missiles had not been moved, that they were stored in the heart of the main base at Honeypot Hill, that this was someone else making a stockpile. Lamram's team, using the MLRS launcher, had been accounted for in the initial planning. The Sting team were going to be well armed and given instructions to assassinate any players manning the launcher, and in the best case scenario, might even be able to take control of the missiles and turn them on Twat Tower. But if Lamram had just lost control of his own missile stockpile and they'd fallen into enemy hands, then that would probably prompt him to beef up his own anti-missile point defenses, rendering our plan dead in the water. Honestly, it didn't really matter who owned the missiles. Simply talking about them in the early hours of the bank holiday might remind him. Unfortunately though, it was the worst case scenario. Again, poor communication. Tom had, without notifying anybody, taken our missiles to Sting. That was our Sting that was broken into. All of our missiles, all of Tom's work, gone. As you can probably expect, the morale in our group chat collapsed. A sense of resignation, a sense of defeat. All of the planning, all of the grinding rendered pointless. Sting could not go ahead. There would be no missile strike, meaning that Mandible probably wouldn't succeed, meaning that the second battle for Honeypot Hill was about to be a slaughter. In the light of this news, 2 of our group decided that they'd had enough rust, that it was a good embarkation point. I was at least willing to stick around and put a brave face on it, but we were under no illusions. This was going to be very one-sided, and frankly, the Sting and Mandible parts of the plan were going to be the interesting bit. Now that they're gone, what's left before the wipe to keep our attention? Well... But this wasn't over. Not yet it wasn't. Not if I could silver tongue our way out of this. Over the course of that workday, I quietly put the feelers out in Dinklebean's Discord group, seeking Starlight, the player who claimed to have found the missiles. And a few hours later, after he'd gone to the gym, he agreed to meet me. I logged into Rust with just 4 hours left until the fight, hopped into a car and drove to his location to plead my case. The game plan was simply... could I just politely ask for the missiles back? And I know that YouTube is a sewer. I know that everything is staged bullshit, so you can't know whether or not I'm speaking the truth. But the only thing in this entire story that's set up is the time and date for the raid. Starlight was just some random bloke in Rust. He was under no obligation to help me. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. If he just went, sorry, no, I'd like to sell the missiles, it would have been a case of, well, GG, that's Rust, baby. But thankfully, after a brief meeting in which I explained what the missiles were for and clued him into the entire plan, he, like a top bloke, just let us have the missiles back. And I've linked him in the description if you wanted to check him out. He did right by us, so thank you, Starlight. With all the missiles back in the car, I drove straight back to the main base, stopping for nothing. I secured them in our main TC room and reported my success to my teammates. And with that...
Squad morale restored.
And just to editorialize for a second, this is why I love survival. There are so many moving parts, so many players doing their own thing to their own plans, and crashing into each other. Whoa! Hands up, press F5, press F5. We're over here, Hans Grubering this making a plan, making contingencies for that plan, and with everything coming up sixes, at the 11th hour, it all goes wrong because some random guy, John McClane's his way into stealing the most critical part of the whole damn plan. I actually asked him, how did you know to break into a base that nobody would bother with, that was intentionally disguised to look terrible? And what he said was really interesting.
It was very pathetic, I'll be honest. It was basically just like a 2x4 with 2 wooden doors and 1 normal door. It was secured via just a small wood box with a code lock in it. I wouldn't have bothered opening up the box, but I saw like a camera on the outside of the building, saw beds inside, and I saw like a entire computer setup. So I was like, there's got to be something in that box.
So for those who didn't catch that, the disguise that this was some shack was pierced by the presence of a security camera and a CCTV terminal visible through the window. No new player would bother to put in such measures for monitoring their starter base. Very clever. Sorry, my tab, when I go to the tab in Rust, scene, I've got lots of people, right? Friendly, nothing. The list is completely blank. I thought it wasn't refreshing, but no, it's blank because you're all under the enemies for me. My own clanmates are under the enemies tab.
It defaults to enemies when someone kills you.
Smart game.
Yeah, the game. That was very smart.
So, finally, it's the evening of the battle. The server is waking up. The air felt like it crackled with tension. All sides are making last-minute preparations. This time, I would broker no chances. No more half measures. Those missiles would be escorted to Sting. In force. 4 guys armed to the teeth in an armored car. We loaded up the essentials and then made 3 trips. 2 to Mandible, 1 to Sting. Delivering entire truckloads of equipment. Guns, armor, and explosives. There was a fear that we'd been spotted at Mandible. One of Lamram's crew saw us.
There's someone on that roof.
Don't engage him. Don't engage him. Just go.
They too were preparing, and our presence in that area would be highly suspicious. We drove off quickly, hoping that the sighting wouldn't be passed up the chain. I asked my brother at that barbecue days later, and he revealed that it simply wasn't. We got away with it. Mandible's secret was preserved. The trap was set. All we needed was the signal. But before all of this, we made a modification to the plan. Surely storing all of the missiles at Sting is a bad plan. If there's a 20-minute timer on firing the MLRS system, you can get miles in 20 minutes. You could probably cross the map in 20 minutes. Why not sprinkle the missiles all over? We have 42 missiles. That's enough for 3.5 strikes, and more than enough to level Lamram's base. Hell, if we focused on Sting alone, it probably would be enough. The cars can have storage lockers and be code locked. Why not put some of the missiles and a targeting module in a car and leave it locked at the side of the road somewhere for the Sting team to find? That way, when a second or third volley is needed, the Sting team can just go and get it. Not sitting out in the open and vulnerable next to the MLRS, just waiting for any chancer to have a go.
I'm Ed Asner.
So Duckslayer and I, still off stream with 30 minutes before the battle, load these missiles into a selected car. But, okay, the cars. All of the cars in Rust are modular. You can mix and match the components on the chassis. And when they're up on the platform like this, that's when you can apply the code lock to control who can get in and out of it. Without the code lock, anyone can take it. And this car was the one we were using a moment ago to bring everything to Mandible and Sting. So, I needed to take the armored passenger modules off to put the cargo modules on. And when moving on the cargo version, somebody might have forgotten to put the code lock back on. So when we drove off to the military site, we quickly scooted over to the MLRS launcher to determine if Lambram had his crew waiting, if they were preparing to fire it at 8 o'clock.
No, scientists are all over it. We're good.
And we parked for 186 seconds. I've timed it. I've checked it on the timeline. 186 seconds. That's when we stepped out of the car to when we got back to it. And when we did, the missiles were gone.
Oh, you're joking.
No. Where's the lock? No, you're joking. It's gone. The lock was removed.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Really?
We were only here for a few seconds.
Oh, okay, let's get back.
We go to drive away. Have they taken the fuel?
They took the fuel, dude.
Okay. Pinched it right out of the gas tank.
Okay, can't have enjoy it.
All of this was an unscripted conga line of ridiculousness. We parked an unlocked car full of endgame missiles next to some random tree, next to a random hedge, next to a random road, and yet somehow there was some random stick who just went,
"Well, I don't mind if I do."
Okay, listen, we're not telling them. If you tell them, I will shoot you.
No,
you
no,
understand?
no, we're not telling
right,
them.
it's a total secrecy.
We're not telling them about the rockets. We have them stashed somewhere for secrecy.
Yeah, okay. Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Gee, I sure hope the missiles don't come back to land on us at some point in the story.
And I'm calling the admin.
Can you hear me?
Hello, sorry, is this Fuzi? I'm of the understanding that you're the admin of the server, is that correct?
I'm one of them, yes.
If my brother Lambram defeats me in battle, can you please ban him? Thank you very much. Next, in the middle of last-minute preparations, my presence is requested outside, for my team tell me that the horse girls have arrived, as they promised they would. And, okay, this next part of the script is going to make me sound like an asshole, but for the sake of the truth, I must speak it, and then you can be the judge of me. I have, historically speaking, held a particularly dim view towards women who play video games, or more accurately, regarding the skills of women who play video games. This is not some incel bullshit cooked up from the internet from not having your pee-pee touched, but through very anecdotal experience. Experience in one particular game, a little known title, you might have heard of it. For long before you ever knew me here, I was, for years, a no-lifer who sank every waking hour into World of Warcraft. From vanilla to Cataclysm, I was hooked. I reached 365 days played on just one of my characters before I realized I might have a problem. And being an MMO with strong social aspects, you would very frequently have players invite their partners, usually their girlfriends, to the guild, and therefore a lot of them would end up in the raids alongside their boyfriends, and subsequently be under my, finger quotes, command. Because I was one of the many crazy souls who decided to go grey way before their time, raid leading. And whilst most of the women joining these raids were enthusiastic, friendly, and always a pleasure to hang out with under normal circumstances, when the rubber touched the road in the high-stress, highly diffused beast that is the WoW raid, they were, more often than they weren't, absolutely terrible. And not even for the first raid. With baffling quantifiability, for whatever the reason, the girlfriends of my guild struggled to manage mechanics that most players simply didn't. The fights that were battles for survival, where individual players had to look to their own defense, to stand in the right place, do not stand in the wrong place, do the right thing at the right moment, or die. Again, in my anecdotal experience, were absolute girlfriend filters. These bosses would just take these ladies out. Now, perhaps other people experience things differently. Perhaps I'm the one who's out of order for even mentioning it in current year. But as a raid leader of yesteryear, I had to make choices. And I could assign one of the girlfriends the important role of possessing the Fellhounds to tank Olm the Summoner in Gruul's lair, or we could reach Gruul the Dragon Killer that night. It sucked, but yeah. Well, shame on me for my take. The egg of regret is over my patriarchal face. The milkshake of reality is splashed over my misogyny. For I invited the horse girls to our little affair, and hark they set forth from here and to there. But were they braiding their hair? Did they come here hands bare? Oh no, au contraire, not these ladies, I swear, for they were loaded for bear.
Tell us where you need us.
4 heavily armored ladies turned up at our doorstep, with their pet boy toy, of course. That is Cyanide's super hot girlfriend. That is Cyanide's super hot girlfriend's minigun. She had a minigun. Let's just say the horse girls do their part. Just you wait.
Roger.
I don't know.
Yeah, music, you need to calm your He's not even here. Brother?
Yes, brother.
Brother, the reason why you are the little brother is because you are always late. You were late coming out of the womb, and you're late to this battle.
I told you it's going to be at least 8:30 for the battle to start, brother. Stop taunting me and off.
Whilst waiting for my brother to sort out his hair and his makeup, I decided to mess around with the drones, to send one up and have it circle, looking for any incoming intruders. And don't worry, I have learnt my lesson. No more weird drone tags. We also have some drones, codenamed Fanny Bandit 1 and Fanny Bandit 2. Yeah, I lied. That drone is probably not Fanny Bandit. Fanny Bandit is low. Also, Fanny Bandit is just so much fun to say. Fanny Bandit, Fanny Bandit, Fanny Bandit. Fanny Bandit is not in the air.
Is Fanny Bandit in the air?
Fanny Bandit's in the air. Fanny Bandit, Fanny Bandit, Fanny Bandit back up. I've got to park Fanny Bandit.
He's pulling it.
Fanny Bandit, Fanny Bandit, Fanny Bandit.
Fanny Bandit. Fanny Bandit.
Fanny Bandit.
Fanny Bandit. Fanny Bandit.
Helicopter.
Copy that. Fanny Bandit coming back.
Fanny Bandit's coming back.
Upkeep.
Yeah.
Call that a lie?
Don't worry, there was a guy on a horse. I chased him off.
Wait, we're not live yet. Mag, something inspiring. This is the eve of battle.
Oh, inspiring. Okay.
Inspiring, go. So, everybody, we held this base here at Honeypot Hill a week ago against the vile forces of my evil little brother. We have turned this place into... Is that wood? We've turned this place into mostly a fortress, and we will hold it. Yeah! We have prepared a large number of decent weapons, which I can see in your hands. Is that the default rad armor? Join us, chat, as you see us hold the line against the... We're going to die, aren't we?
Yeah, we are gonna die. You know, lighten this up a small bit.
Take it away.
Take it away, Mike.
Ugh.
Very light-mooded song.
Oh, move out the way. Let me do it.
Excellent.
Is it the turrets? Go.
Guys, what was that? What was those bombs earlier?
Here we go. Here we go.
Pikes and all down. Oh my god.
Fucking missed it.
You're going up in your tower, so
Thank you.
yeah, they're doing a rock.
By the way,
I think that's Soviet on top. From there, left.
Oh, I got hit.
We're bacon.
They're shooting rockets at our Sams!
Rock people, push up.
Glad I did more.
A man with a big shield.
The sniper locks me.
You little back up. Still the main room. No, I'm actually gonna let them drop.
Wolves are gone!
Incoming enemy helicopter.
Right, on the roof.
There you go. Around.
They're parachuting
The
down, look, they're
parachute.
parachuting! Get him!
Far afield at the abandoned military site, an unknown party had managed to defeat the NPCs and secure the MLRS launcher, and a few moments later he had it loaded, locking its sights squarely upon the base at Honeypot Hill. Launching a powerful attack, he fired all 12 missiles which screamed towards us on a devastating ballistic trajectory. For a single SAM site would stand no chance against this strike, but we didn't have a single SAM site. We had 3.
Oh my god, MLRS! Look up! MLRS! Oh, the SAMs have saved us!
Oh, no,
how cool is that? We got the wall up, Mac.
Reload!
No, we should be good.
Got one of them. I can't come right now. It's hell down here. Putting walls down. Cover me north.
Repairing the walls again.
I'm down.
I down.
Rage. This battle raged. My brother and his allies slammed their attack into our base's northwest corner, volleying rocket after rocket into the outer walls, our wind turbines, and eventually the base itself.
Right, wall has been plugged, but the gap has been filled.
And despite an overnight lull, they resumed their attack in the morning.
My wall down again, you
attempting to be the spear tip that would stab into our base from the relative safety of some rock formations and the high external walls that they bore with them. But you see, it's my opinion that despite their reconnaissance, despite all of their planning, my brother had made something of a tactical error. You see, this is Honeypot Hill. This is a 1-to-1 recreation of its layout. It had a roof, obviously, and then the first floor, and then the ground floor. But it was also set up a bit like a hotel, as in a central lobby hosting the core areas, with 2 wings branching off to the east and to the west, which were almost entirely bedrooms. 4 on each side. 8 in total for the 8-man team. We had some personal weapons in our rooms, of course, but for the sake of the battle, most of the weapons and ammunition were in the center and on the roof. Well, Lam Ram's attack was focused on the western side, his rockets landing against bedrooms and a few against the first floor communal lounge. And that continued to be the case for almost the entirety of the battle. This was his breach here, costing almost his entire rocket stockpile that never really diminished our ability to fight back. Sure, our wind turbines got shagged, but ZF Digi got to work trying to restore the power and was able to do so. What they ought to have been doing would be going straight for the middle, or perhaps even here. The back door, and this garage, which was a medium-sized room directly against our main loot room, and in hindsight was a tremendous weakness. It was built that way for convenience, to move heavy items to and from the cars quickly, but if attackers ever got in there, it probably would have been impossible to get them out. This was our base's weak spot, the back door. But of course, they didn't know that. That's one of the benefits of not just copying Rust bases off the internet. Our internal layout was a complete mystery for them, and I suspect that the presence of this armoured western wall in their early planning convinced them that this was a vital area. We'll discuss what was behind there shortly, and for reasons that are also not clear, they collectively left the sniper tower on the eastern hill alone for ages, allowing Solvik and I, armed with rifles, to zing bullet after bullet down from high elevation. The only purpose of that tower was to delay them from taking the high ground and to babysit a minefield, but it very quickly became a major part of our defense. To their credit, it really didn't take them long to realize they've made an error.
I think we need to take out that sniper tower.
You think that's really what's killing us?
Gives us an angle of attack, which is pretty good on us when we're coming up.
But for around 45 minutes, we essentially had 2 snipers continually firing on them.
Let's use our minigun against you, shall we?
With near perfect visibility.
Minigun, watch out.
Another rocket. They've got like a rocket.
Eventually, a completely different group stormed this tower from the east, representing another interesting twist on the raid. And it was exciting. The whole thing was so exciting. Rust raids, online ones at least, are exciting. This is where the mechanics of Rust shine like gold. Come on!
No war crimes here, you
Group down here.
Wow,
Group down here.
look at that.
Oh, is that the girl?
Oh, this game is so cool.
There's another one, 280.
This game is so cool. And with that shine, it's my opinion that the outline of the trap is revealed. The trap of min-max instrumental play. To see Rust like this, you need community, camaraderie.
No,
Harry!
No!
The collective desire to suppress the race towards min-maxed play, and you especially need admins to be able to ban the bad apples. Those who want to win at all costs, even if it means being unsporting. We have to be able to pull something like Rust out of the sewer. And when you do, it's amazing.
Yeah, he's in the pool with the float.
He's in the pool. Yeah, Happy Harry is good for morale, okay?
Yeah, it is.
Let's see
the pool.
Round the walls of the base, I had placed proximity sensors linked to pagers. The intention here is that they would buzz whenever someone was stalking around our base at night. But there were so many incoming attackers, so many unknowns, so many sensors being tripped, that in this entire battle the pagers wouldn't shut the up.
Pager's warning me we've got intruders at the wall. No, Pager!
And some of those sensors were being tripped by the horse girls, who throughout this entire battle were delivering so much misery onto our attackers. For whilst we were ensconced within our walls and taking fire from the northwest, the girls were coming around the hill from the southwest, moving up and down against my brother's flank. And these were no horse girls. That name does not do them justice. This group of women, extremely Scandinavian, were more like wolves, or the Valkyrie of old.
Oh, damn!
They stalked this battlefield, moving back and forth and striking and retreating, and would repeatedly catch my brother out on his flank.
Oh, who hit me? Oh, they hit me to the side over there.
Sometimes we would accidentally shoot at the girls in the chaos through misidentification, but for the most part, their continued skirmishing caused a delicious amount of chaos.
Oh, they're shooting outside the base. Oh my god, they're up there.
And one funny thing to observe was, well, because the horse girls were not based here, because they could not simply run to a huge cache of weapons and ammo within easy reach, on being slain, they would frequently rush back, loot the dead, and then keep on fighting. And Lamb Ram's team had, ahead of time, selected the same armor skin for the sake of friend versus foe identification, and they had selected hot pink, probably safe in the knowledge that ZF were too much of a bunch of manly men to ever consider picking pink for their own color. Oh no. Oh yes. The ladies would continually grab my brother's battle colors, having no qualms about wearing pink.
It's hard to tell now because they're starting to get pink here as well.
Yeah, I think they're starting to learn.
Yeah, Discovery and the girls aren't on our team.
At times, succeeding in getting astonishingly close to Lamb Ram's line before opening up.
They are starting to wear our colors now, just be careful.
These ladies were dangerous.
That's a good shot from Birdie.
They were a wonderful asset to the battle and bought us a huge amount of time.
Okay, the girls are wearing our colors. Yep, you are right. The girls are wearing our colors.
As Tom and Laserpig quietly prepared the raid base at Mandible, a stone's throw from his base.
Oh, I'm dead.
You're dead.
Loads of them
been
come
killed.
from northwest.
Eventually, though, my luck in the tower ran out.
Oh no. Oh no.
Off, Major.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Nope, nope.
But then one of the two attacking helicopter pilots, perhaps believing that the tower was now clear, decided to use it as a landing pad.
Cheeky landed a helicopter on my tower.
And whilst a smarter player might have just shot him and taken his helicopter, instead...
We're gonna go mano-y mano. You want my tower? Gotta get through me, you little... Ah! Rats!
Editor's note, don't include this scene in the final render. Be sure to take it out. You'll look like an idiot. With our tower taken, the entire east flank collapsed. The whole point of that tower was to guard the elevation overlooking the base. But now that's gone, and the whole thing gets swarmed.
That tower is crawling.
Not by Lamb Ram's team, but an entirely unrelated group of players, spoiling for a good fight. Honeypot Hill is utterly surrounded.
Their base is open, their base is open. We're pushing up, let's go, let's go.
Also, after this fight, when all is said and done, it turns out there was a solo player living in the swamp nearby called Soup. Well, he actually snuck in behind the fighting.
Hey, are you the new owner of my tower?
Taking a code lock and replacing the doors to the tower.
This is my tower!
Giving him prime real estate like a brave hermit crab.
You
Spawning back inside the base, I rushed to the defenses, for in each of the bedrooms there are these lockers, and all of us have been preparing our gear. And I took the time to prepare a whole bunch of flamethrowers with big heavy armor, so I could be a bit of a mini-boss straight out of Metal Gear 3. But of all of the bedrooms, the point of entry for the enemy of course had to be my bedroom.
Oh, they're in my bedroom.
That's what was behind the westernmost wall.
That's my bedroom, you my pawn's under the bed.
Oh, that's too bad.
Aww.
And within short order, all of my stuff became inaccessible, and even fell to the enemy.
I got a flamethrower in there ready and everything. Oh, f*** off. I didn't realise all the action would be in my bedroom, Dinkelbean.
No. You've gone from one extreme to another, haven't you?
How much health does this have? 110.
Oh,
I'm gonna go on. Do that.
What the am I? I don't know whose room I'm in.
Back up on the eastern hill, my brother encounters those unaffiliated players.
Hello.
But then, plot twist, they side with him.
We're going to push up their base. Let's go.
He suddenly has a whole load of reinforcements. But as much as it's a lucky break for him, Mr. Batty and his attack helicopter become an unexpected savior.
Reinforcements, holy
Things within Honeypot Hill were looking desperate. The walls were falling.
Oh my god!
The bedrooms were breached. Our inefficient electrical system was triggering ZF Digi's ADHD. And most crucially, in the middle of the battle, somebody renamed my bed.
Someone changed my bed to when is the next bull.
But all of this was technically still going to plan. Lamram's team were committed now. They were in our residential wing and they were breaching the doors one by one when my brother wasn't too busy tripping on barbed wire.
I got hit!
Not once but twice.
Oh, that f***ing high external wall!
And therefore, the first code phrase was uttered.
Team Sting fall back to their position.
The Sting team, Digi and Duckslayer, were told to go to the abandoned military site and clear it of third parties in preparation for the first missile strike.
Good luck to you all.
And okay, the third parties. As is evident from all of this footage, this is chaos. There are way more than just two sides here.
Two guys shooting at each other on the road. Don't know who either of them are.
And the details of what I'm about to relate, I've only been able to stitch together after the fact, from some of the testimonies of the people involved. But as a typical example, let's talk about Rudley.
Who was that?
Rudley was a third party, a solo, and seemingly he had his own beef. Not with us, but with my brother's team. He had, ignorant of our designs and entirely on his own initiative, decided that he was going to use our event as cover to launch his own retaliatory attack against Twat Tower, and therefore he was probably the second person to secure the MLRS site after that first attack.
The Sams have saved us!
The MLRS.
And then he fired it west in Twat Tower's direction with whatever missiles he was able to find. That put the MLRS site on cooldown, a 20-minute cooldown, throwing a bit of a spanner in the works concerning our timeline. But this would have been manageable if Rudley were alone. The issue is, he wasn't. We sent 2 people off to secure Sting, and there were, as far as I could tell from analysing my footage, 4 opponents.
Oh,
Maybe not working together, maybe Rudley's launch simply drew in 2 more, but 4 players versus our 2.
God damn it.
Therefore, the Sting team went in and got themselves bodied.
I'm dead.
ZF Tom was at Mandible. He was prepping Mandible. He moved to be the third man for Sting. Honeypot Hill had to stand. We had to hold out. We had to buy the Sting guys more time.
Sting, green or red?
Sting is not green.
I'm right to the left.
It's not green.
They ruined my spot, by the way.
I'm just wounded on the floor.
Attack chopper is inbound.
Even as the enemy flooded into the base, we had to hold. We just had to hold. Inside the lobby, all was chaos, all was confusion.
Go at the gate.
Messi, what are you doing? Messi!
I'm sorry. Okay.
In the fog of war, newly created interior doors were being left open when they should have been closed.
Who opened that door?
And without any of us knowing, a 3-man attack team was advancing towards us through the western wing. They had a straight shot to the main lobby. But amazingly, that attacking team took a wrong turn, and they all bundled together in an upstairs bedroom. By my request, Mag and Dinkelbean came with me to lock down those open doors.
Cover me, I'm going to close the door, Mag.
And if ever you want to see an example of a man rolling a nat 20 in Rust, this would be it. Dinkelbean closed the door behind me, and I accidentally trapped myself.
Close it, Dinkle. Dinkle.
They took all my stuff.
Press A.
Got it.
Dinkle, close the not me behind it! Close it, Dinkle. Dinkle.
They took all my stuff.
Press A.
Got it.
Dinkle, close the not me behind it!
Well, you told me to close the door!
But in my panic, in my bewilderment, through pure chance, I am in the exact right place, at the exact right time, to close the bedroom door.
Okay.
Unknowingly locking 3 of the enemy inside. I wasn't even aware of what I'd just done.
Help, bro!
With just one button click, I took 3 people off of the board. They had no way of opening that door. No rockets, no C4. Grenades, yes, but they were fearful of using them. Apparently, all they could do was sit there and wait for somebody to come and get them.
We're stuck in a room, Lamb. We can't get out. They locked us in.
I locked him in.
It gets even better. The third man only ran into that room for a few seconds to warn the others to get out of that room. My timing was flawless. And was all part of my plan. Yes, absolutely. Tactical genius, me. Yeah. Also, hilariously, the bedrooms are getting breached, right? One by one, they are falling to Lamb Ram's team as they advance. But Naughty Ostrich couldn't actually make this session. He couldn't join the battle, I think because of work. But despite the base being beaten like a drum, despite his bedroom being in the West Wing, it was, almost miraculously, completely unscathed. Not a single piece of furniture was damaged, not a single item he owned was touched. The mother slept through this like he's Snow White or some shit.
Holy Sting, they're entering our lobby.
Grenade going in, Mag. Grenade, Mag, grenade.
Finally, though, this was it. The climax. The time to spring our trap arrived. The Sting team, with Tom supporting them, had finally gained control of the MLRS.
Got him.
The call was made to initiate Plan Mandible.
Do it, Tom.
Mandible. Go Mandible.
Go to Mandible.
Go Mandible. Go now.
Charge, everyone. Charge.
All the remaining defenders of Honeypot Hill charged the enemy in a suicidal frenzy to respawn at Mandible. Tom and Laserpig had previously gone ahead to prepare a small raid base complete with turrets, so we spawned piecemeal and then, drumroll, it was a show. The Mandible attack was, well, okay, things did not go well right off the bat.
Where is everyone?
And if I had to speculate on the cause, it was the third parties at Sting. You see, this whole time, Tom was not taking part in the defense of Honeypot Hill. He was going from Laserpig's Rock Emporium, driving a truck up the hill, and then creating a custom cube-shaped raid base. And if he were here, I've no doubt he would be able to direct us to it. And then we could attack Twat Tower with a simultaneous MLRS strike. But of course, without him, nobody arriving from Honeypot Hill knows where the raid base is, or what it even looks like. Dinkelbean, Mag, and myself all spawn at the wrong location, appearing in Laserpig's Rock Emporium, and then we quizzically look around for the gear like we're fumbling for candles in a blackout. The gear's not here, it's up the hill, but we just didn't know that. Not until a few minutes later at least. And remember, Twat Tower was ringed with several smaller bases, also made out of sheet metal. Which one is ours? And shout out to this footage days prior, where I spend the better part of my play session grinding materials for 10 C4 charges, only to find them now, equip them, and then get gunned down by one of Twat Tower's turrets, losing all of them in seconds.
Oh, damn it. Oh,
by the way.
that was stupid.
Oh, don't build your base from a design on the internet, I say. You can see where your defenses are. And then I die like a lemon on stream to a turret that I should have known was there. A reminder, that base is unoccupied. There's nobody there.
It's here. It's a loot room. We've literally found that loot room. Right that chest, you can open them. Right that chest, you can open them. Oh, we got loot, baby! We got loot!
But don't worry, it's okay. We can still win, I believe. We go and spawn up and we find some of the missiles, and we commence our attack on Twat Tower itself.
Where is
I
this
really
camper
like the
van?
rocket enthusiasm. Can we actually
It's
maybe
long
hit
ago.
the base?
Mag, you got to aim like halfway up the windmill.
But our ground attack is scattershot at best and laughable at worst.
What are we aiming for?
I don't know. I'm just shooting it anyways.
did you get him, Tom?
Like, just fire vaguely in that direction. It's fine.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we can still win. I believe. We can still do this. And shout out to this moment where I find our raid base at last, but then of course I don't recognize this as being on our side, and so I promptly rocket attack our own turrets. I'm not sure if that's better or worse than Dinkelbean, who on finding the raid base decides to shoot at his own teammates through the windows, mistaking them for Lamb Ram's team.
Oh, that was Ducky. Sorry, Ducky.
Who again are not even here.
I was at the TC. Oh, it's a TC. That's the heart of the base. We got the TC!
But it is okay, I believe. We can do this. Mandible is struggling, but Sting will make the difference. If they can fire those missiles, we can weaken the base defenses. We can get in and we can destroy the tool cupboard. After all, we have we have 2 volleys. 2 is enough. 2 chances to win. We can do this. And so...
Fire!
Go!
In the southeast, mate.
Now.
Here we go. Oh!
Here it comes.
Missed it.
Tell me I'm hitting.
I don't want to.
You
knock it
Okay,
down.
okay.
Done.
How do we need to readjust?
Destroyed the wall.
laughing.
Totally
Stop laughing.
missed.
We have more missiles. Shut
We
up.
have more
please.
missiles. We have like 2 more missiles.
Okay.
Guys, with accuracy like this, if you considered a career with the Russian military.
But it's okay. We can do this. I believe. We have one final volley to make the difference. All we have to do is land it. I believe.
Okay, and fire away.
But I don't want to.
Here it goes!
Away.
Here we go.
Rockets away.
I
This
can't
time
see
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, it was good.
Time for sure.
Which way is east again?
Please.
They're coming down any second now. 5.
Yeah, I see him. I see him.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's good.
It's not good. You
It's
missed
not good.
again.
Did he miss again?
Oh,
Yes, you went north that time.
They
Showed
moved the
their
base.
wall, though.
They just moved the base.
They moved the base. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna go play RimWorld. This. Yeah, we lost. We suck. God damn it.